this is Hani Espinosa with Just Wish Foundation. Today we are joined by Lindsay Cashin, VP of People of the Honor Foundation, a career transition program for the U.S. Special Operations Forces. Thanks so much for joining us in Just Wish Foundation, Lindsay.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you and for this conversation today.
Likewise, thank you for joining us. Lindsay, tell us how the Honor Foundation was founded and why it was such a personal and meaningful goal for its founder, Joe Musselman.
Yeah, that's a question that I'm often asked, and I love sharing this story. So for Joe, this was a very personal and passion-driven project for him. He comes from a family of long service to our nation. 16 individuals from his family served in our nation. And for him, he was moving through the Navy SEALs program and training program of BUDS, and he unfortunately had a career-ending injury. And during that time of being medically separated, Joe witnessed firsthand the need for an effective transition for individuals from the special operations community. And it was very inspiring because one of the things that he noticed was these highly respected, experienced individuals, their transition was going to be slightly different from others coming from the community. So this was very personal for him. He spent a number of months interviewing over 200 special operations officers and transitioning service members through what their journey looked like.
Yeah.
And what he decided to do was help them with their resumes, move them from career leaders assessments, and really begin setting up those short and long-term transition objectives so they were able to seamlessly navigate this transition. And he founded the Honor Foundation in 2014, and now we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. And it's incredible the growth that we have had from over 10 years.
That's great. That's great. I think, Lindsay, that pivotal moment in Joe's life was when he encountered a Master Chief, right, who served for 26 years in the SEAL community, but, I had no idea what he was going to do next in life. You were saying that Joe helped him with building his resume. Can you go deeper in terms of how this Master Chief was helped transition into a life that after serving, transition to what's next in his life? So tell us how Joe helped him.
The story is interesting. They actually just found a small office together, and they sat and they looked through what his career was, and they started pinning down what those transferable skills and experiences were. So he was working with an individual with exceptional leadership experience, exceptional operational and organizational management potential. So what Joe was looking to do was really open his aperture to the possibilities of where those skills and experiences could move over into another adventure and chapter for them. And that was really the start of what Joe was looking to achieve then. He wanted to make sure that the men and women from the community understood their value and then were able to maximize their impact in their next adventure for them. So they seamlessly moved into that next chapter.
So tell us about these U.S. Special Operations Forces. Who are these men and women? Why are they so important in our country? What skills and value do they add to other industries?
Yeah, and that's a great question too. I think sometimes let's start at the basics, that they are overall individuals from our armed services. The Special Operations community is a joint command. So you've got individuals from the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Army, the Air Force, and what that looks like, it's Navy SEALs, Marine Raiders, Air Force Pararescuemen, Green Berets, Army Rangers. And really what begins their path to the Special Operations community, it truly starts with their ambition to pursue something exceptional, something incredibly difficult. So from the start, these men and women who are moving through these programs are assessed on physical intelligence, emotional, psychological. And so once they're designated as an operator and they've moved through these programs, really the missions and the responsibilities that they are entrusted with and that are bestowed upon them, they impact the larger piece to, say, our national security and our foreign policy objectives. And they do so by using such incredible skills to work productively and collaboratively with interagencies, for example. So their elite levels of professionalism, maturity, and their experiences, for us, that means that we want to make sure that they are getting the best transition possible for them as
Yeah.
they navigate.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. The best transition for them. How does Honor Foundation help them during this pivotal moment in their lives after years of service?
Yeah. So after years of service, one of the things that we want to make sure is that very deliberately and responsibly over the course of a 3-month program in our classroom spaces, we are peeling back those layers of the individual. So we divide our 3-month program into 3 phases. Our first phase is a pivotal phase. It focuses on the individual, on the men and women. We are going through journaling. We are going through our career leaders assessments, our Gallup strengths assessments. And we are trying to put back those initial values that have maybe long been institutionalized from our commands and our ethoses, which is incredible, but
Mhm.
we want to show an alignment. So
Mm,
that's the first phase. And we are really focusing on the person. That
okay.
second phase for us focuses on that more traditional toolkit of transition, your resumes, your LinkedIn designs now,
Mm,
how to effectively and efficiently move through interview questions.
mhm,
What does it look like to research a company to find out what their values are? Or what does it mean to start a business,
mhm,
go on and pursue higher education? So that is our second phase. And then our third phase is really the application of the learning. So
mhm,
this is where we visit organizations or universities. We bring in professionals to speak to our audiences, and we move through some additional capstone
mhm,
activities.
mhm,
And that's a very intense 3-month program. It's wonderful because everybody who goes through the Honor Foundation is paired with an executive coach.
mhm,
And so they have an additional advisor or mentor with them through this process, which is a sounding board for them in transition. And
mhm,
our faculty who teaches our classes are coming in from businesses and higher education universities where they are really subject matter experts. And that's where we're
mhm,
really looking to lean on what's necessary for transition.
mhm,
And then post that graduation, then they move into phase 4 for us, which is our service for life. So whether it is their first transition or second or third, they're always able to come back to the Honor
oh,
Foundation for
wow.
support and resources.
So this is a continuous growth for them, whether, let's talk about kind of the industries too, Lindsay. What kind of
Mhm.
industries are they pursuing? Is it just dependent on what they're passionate about, or you guys specialize certain industries or fields?
Yeah, that's a great question. And one I'm often asked as the VP of people too, since so much of what I do is outward to organizations and universities. We see no true trend on where individuals are looking to move into. And I think that that's excellent because it shows the value of the Honor Foundation's program in opening up to what could be.
Mm,
So, as they're moving through the program, they're better understanding how their strengths and skills and talents may align to, say, financial services or technology, software
mm,
sales, business development. So, for every person who goes through the course, we look at it as they are all very unique in what
mm,
they're looking to achieve in transition. So, we do not guide them to one industry or another.
mm,
We are making sure that when they move into that next adventure, they do so because they have aligned to what is important to them.
mhm,
Company, for example, company values. What does the culture look like? What does the team environment look like?
mhm,
And for sometimes, for some individuals, they're looking to go to a large organization. Others are looking to go into a very small startup space. So it's very
mhm.
exciting for our organization to be an advisor and partner and trusted agent to individuals as they are trying to determine what is next for them and their family.
Tell us about your campuses. I understand you have one in the West Coast and one in the East Coast, right?
Yes. So we have come a long way in 10 years when Joe opened in San Diego, and then we moved over to Virginia Beach. And now we're very proud for 10 years, we have 10 campuses. So we
Wow.
have 8 physical campuses positioned throughout the United States near headquarters locations for larger commands. So we've got 2 locations in North Carolina, we've got 2 in Florida, one in Tennessee, one in Washington
Wow.
State, and then we have 2 virtual campuses. And our virtual campuses are for any individual who is not physically near one of our locations. So that's very exciting too, because we have individuals coming in from all around the world for those courses.
Wow. Wow. And these campuses, they offer the same kind of, or are they some campuses are specialized, or this is just for anyone within that area. It's more accessible for them.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, very unique for our campus locations are the individuals who go through the program are typically coming from the same community. So,
I
they're
see.
going through a classroom experience with their brothers and sisters who have had like experiences and thought processes along the way. And we found that this is very important for individuals as they're going through that 3-month program
Mm,
because there's an automatic level of trust to begin with, but they're
yeah.
going through this program and then they're going back into their commands and being able to bring those lessons down to their team members. So we think that
Mm,
that's very important. So overall, for the locations, tend to follow the same branch of service. For
mhm,
example, in Tennessee, it's a lot of Army heavy.
mhm.
For in San Diego and Virginia Beach, very Navy special warfare heavy.
I see.
Um, I think one of the differences too, then across our campuses and unique is in all of those locations, the communities and the business communities are very different. So,
Mm,
how our campuses engage with our local communities and the types of businesses that varies as well.
mhm.
But overall, the amount of volunteer activities and the ways to volunteer is consistent throughout our campuses. So, from
Okay.
joining us for mock interviews, signing up to be a coach, for example,
Wow.
review boards, there's a vast opportunity for impact.
So volunteers are really an important part of your organization.
I say that volunteers are a critical piece to our
Mhm.
success for those we serve. They are individuals who come in with their knowledge, they share their insights and perspectives, and they are trusted agents to those who are navigating transition as well.
Mm,
So when we look to bring in volunteers to say sit in a class and observe, they're welcome to contribute to the conversation as well. So that itself brings a very unique and diverse perspective,
mhm.
which is very important because I always say that the greatest teams are the ones with the greatest amount of diversity and
Yeah.
perspective. So as we are bringing more individuals into our classroom space, it again is going to open that aperture and come full circle for the men and women we serve.
Let's talk about numbers, Lindsay. Do we have an idea of how many men and women the Honor Foundation has helped through the years? How many have graduated in the program?
Yeah, so for, like I said, this is 10 years. We are just under 3,000 men and women who we
Wow.
have served in our classroom. We are going to graduate a summer cohort next week, which will put us over the 3,000 mark.
Wow.
And the demand continues to climb. So we're extremely honored that individuals trust us with their process, but also their families trust us with their process. So important to us, spouses and partners are welcome to come to the
Mm.
classrooms to
Oh,
learn the transition process and move through those same exercises. And also, we do 1 day and 2 day seminars across commands for individuals who maybe just need a foundational toolkit to start as they're considering what their transition looks like in 2 or 3 years from now. So, we touch a lot of lives, which is very important for us. We want to make sure that we are high touch, high value, and
mhm,
looked at as a premier institution for transition.
mhm. Besides volunteering, how else can the community help you in your efforts?
Yeah. We have a saying here, time, talent, and treasure.
Okay.
So the time piece is the larger volunteering piece for us. And it is a time commitment. I myself was a volunteer for the Honor Foundation before joining them on staff.
Oh, wow.
Um, Talent piece is hiring the men and women that we serve, engaging in our classroom experiences with multiple volunteers from your organization. The greater the advocacy we have within organizations and institutions, the better it is for what
Mhm,
the mission is to make sure that nobody is unhappy, unemployed,
mhm,
or underemployed. And then
mhm.
the treasure piece, we are a nonprofit, we are a 501c. So we operate off of the generosity of donors, whether that is individual or through organizations and their philanthropic givings.
Mhm.
So you could head over to our website at honor.org and see the many ways to engage with time, talent, and treasure, or I'm happy to have conversations with anyone.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. For us at Just Wish Foundation, we are just honored that we are able to help in our own way. And I hope that we can help story of Joe and the Honor Foundation, what you guys do, the volunteers, the coaches, and of course the men and women who have served our country and deserve this next chapter in their lives. The that they can achieve, uh, uh, more. They can on to the next adventure that that they can pursue what they're passionate about, and we applaud you guys for helping them transition in the best way possible, and allowing them to have that life. Thank you so much, Lindsay. More power to the Honor Foundation.
Thank you so much. And I just want to leave with that. It's it's one thing to volunteer, just to volunteer, but individuals who volunteer with the Honor Foundation, they are making a personal and professional impact on the lives of others in a very positive way. And it is a win-win because as a
Yes.
volunteer, they too are walking away
Yeah.
with a personal perspective and growth opportunities and a professional impact as well. So it takes a community to do this, and we're very proud that our community and our ecosystem continues to spread. So I welcome our volunteers, and I appreciate so much what your organization has done for us. You have made a positive impact on the lives of those that we serve, for sure.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you so much, and more power to the Honor Foundation. Thank you.
Thank
Talk soon.
you.
Thank you so much.